The time has finally come to start spending our 2,433 Universal Legendary Commander sculptures, and Herald, he's going to be the first one that we expertise. He's amazing in Canyon. He's amazing in the open field. Stick around in this video to see exactly why we think this commander is still worthy of sculptures. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, a sponsored content creator for Rise of Kingdoms, and today, we get to expertise a commander. Now, you know that I like to hoard my sculptures until a critical moment, until there's a reason you need a commander. And for us, we are less than a week away from Pass 4 opening and battling against other kingdoms, in particular, Kingdom 30, the kingdom that has Hong Kong Legends, the Season 2 Arc of Osiris champion. So if you want to see that, and you like Rise of Kingdoms guides that are designed to help you get value and smash your enemies, consider smashing the subscribe button for daily Rise of Kingdoms videos, and hey, do me a favor, throw a like on this video. So let's get started by expertising Herald, and then we're going to show you some footage of why I think that Herald is still worthy of your sculptures. So step one, let's apply these sculptures here. He did come from the Wheel of Fortune, and we max spin those wheels, which makes these commanders that come from the Wheel of Fortune a lot easier to expertise in terms of the number of universal sculptures that I have to use. Now, if you were to be skilling this commander up and hoping that the skills land in good places, you really do want to max the fourth skill if at all possible. So you would max the first skill, take them to 4 stars, and then hope everything lands where my skill just didn't. On the Garrison skill, optimally they all land over here. The other thing I want to say about this commander before I finish expertising him is that, you know, due to the third skill, this is a commander that hinders his own effectiveness on the battlefield. That's right, he has a massive reduction of his own defense, and if you don't have this skill maxed out, he's not getting a lot of benefit from it. Over time, he will reduce his own defense by 75%. And if you had only 1 point in Varangian Guard, you would be getting a very, very small amount of attack boost from this commander. In fact, you'd only be getting an extra 15% attack from the stacking buff over here, while you'd be losing 75% defense. Honestly, this skill is terrible. If you aren't going to expertise your Herald, I would really think twice about whether or not you would invest in him at all. And that is because this fourth skill triggers his active skill and makes him immune to defense reduction. It makes it so that that defense reduction from the previous skill doesn't hurt you. So this is a commander that gets much, much better when they are expertised, or in the very least, if you could get them to 5-1-5-5, you'd be living the dream. However, when expertised, there is a nice little boost over here. And the boost that we are about to realize as we apply those 80 remaining sculptures and the mysterious merchant pops is going to be this right over here, baby. Boom. Valhalla. This is going to give you 20% counterattack in most situations, and if you're surrounded, you get a little bit of a bonus as well. But surrounded, that's the thing I want to talk about, and this is really the reason I'm investing in this commander, because when he is surrounded, Herald is a monster. He does huge amounts of area of effect damage. That's 1,500 per target, and he can hit an upwards of 3 targets. And in addition, well, let me just show you. Let me take you to a Canyon match and show you. In this Canyon matchup, I want you to watch closely in the top lane where I've paired Richard with Herald. And the start of this is not going to be terribly exciting. However, as this battle unfolds and toward the end, I noticed something that I hadn't noticed before, which is that when your Herald is surrounded and you trigger that fourth skill, which fires off his active skill again, if you're surrounded, it will do area of effect damage. I don't know why I never noticed that earlier, but you'll watch this happening on screen and it's just gangbuster. Like, you see these axes flying everywhere. It gets completely out of control. And in this footage, he's not even expertised. He's missing a lot of the percent chance to have that active skill fire off an extra time. So there it is, just triggering back to back. And honestly, 20% chance from your normal attacks. Look, I know that the wording previously was different. There it was again. I know the wording was different. such that it was like potentially from every attack that dealt damage you had a chance to trigger it or something different. But it triggers from normal attacks, and that's still really good. So good that I expertised him, and now I want to take him for a spin as an expertise commander. And because our rank is really honestly quite fine in Lost Canyon right now, I think the place we're going to go and do that is to kick things off in Sunset Canyon. So let's go, and we'll set our defense with our newly minted expertise Herald, and we'll go and do a few battles here, and we'll tackle some of the most difficult folks that are available to us, including perhaps some folks that we haven't ever beaten. And okay, the first match you don't need to see. We need to get to a tougher opponent here, one of the top tier opponents. So we'll autoplay a couple of these real quick. Don't even move our troops around. I did get scared for half a second, like maybe I'm going to fight somebody where I'm totally in trouble with the way I configure my troops. But these first couple, I think we can kind of fire off. Okay, Joan of Arc. This is a nice little trick if you didn't know. Joan of Arc with siege units, you use Matilda. I'll have a card up in the top. I use that in my restart project. It works extremely well, but probably not well enough to beat this. Now, let's start showing you, oh yeah, some tough opponents. These are opponents like look, I may lose some of these battles, okay? First, let's battle Groggy. You know Groggy. We've been doing many seasons of KVK with our favorite Warthog. We're going to go and configure our troops as follows. I love that he's using a Saladin, I believe with William in the back lane. That thing is doing some serious work. And I know that he's got some counter healing, both in the form of the Saladin and unfortunately in the form of an Alexander the Great. I think that his Alexander the Great is also in the lane where my Richard is now. So I'll protect my Richard from that healing. Oh, wait, no. Saladin's up there. Just kidding. All right. I guess I got to just live with the Alexander the Great debuff. Is what it is. Here we go. Let's see how this goes. I would like to think that my archers will do well against his infantry in the off lane. And the reason that I'm not showing you, by the way, battle testing in a game mode like, oh, there it was. The AoE triggered right at the start. Did you see that? Did you see that? Don't blink. The reason I'm not doing this in like a practice match, okay, the reason I'm not doing this in a practice match for Ark of Osiris is that we're really trying to showcase when this commander gets surrounded. He's not an amazing commander just one-on-one. Dude, look at how often these skills are firing off. Just watch for those axes firing, and even though he's getting silenced regularly by the Guan Yu, he's still firing them off a lot. And I may not win. Like I said, I may not win. In fact, he's doing very well. How's my bottom lane doing? Uh-oh. Chisgule, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. The configuration I have, it may not be perfect, but I think it does what I'm intending to do here, which is to simply showcase how often those skills can fire off from the Herald. All right, so as we make our way through this match, we're a little surrounded. We're in trouble. Alexander the Great, hopefully his shielding will reach my archers. They're so far away. Does the shield reach them? No. I think I might beat Groggy, but just barely. And if I hadn't expertise my Herald here, I think I would have lost. So I think we win this one barely. Well played, Groggy. I did get a green material there. That was nice. Let's battle on another high-ranked opponent. Blue Dog Challenge. Currently number 2. How will we configure? The Edward in the top. Again, okay, they've got a Sun Tzu. I'm feeling pretty confident. We'll move our William down to hopefully hit multiple targets. I do want to avoid the Guan Alex, which is probably in the top lane. I wasn't looking too closely. Normally, I would be. And here we go. Let's fire this off. Again, watch for how frequently the Richard Herald combination is firing off those axes, even at the right start of the match here. Boom. There was an axe to a single target because he wasn't quite surrounded yet. There is the AoE because he's now surrounded. There it is again. Oh, that's his. He has one. Blue Dog has it, and it fired off twice in a row. Do you see that? Dude, look at theirs firing off. Look at this. It's like a freaking axe-throwing fest at the Renaissance Festival, and look out, because nobody knows what they're doing, and they've all been drinking. So anyways, joking aside, the axe-throwing is really fun at the Renaissance Festival. You know what I'm talking about if you've been. You know what I'm talking about. You take that thing, you throw it over your head. Wham! Hopefully you hit the freaking tree stump. This went pretty well. Let's fire up the next one here so I can showcase more of Herald getting surrounded, just to give you a sense of how frequent and how crazy this is. Now, Chrismat, oh boy. This team should destroy me. This team should obliterate me. I have no right beating this team. I will lose. Let's do it anyways just to show you. He also has an expertise Herald. Chisgule's team is freaking beast. Let's see how this goes. He's also... Oh, he's got a Leonidas in the mix somewhere. Oh, this is going to go poorly. Let's just see what happens. I don't know where he's got his Alex. Let's just see what happens. He probably has Guan. He might have Guan. Oh, yeah, he's got Guan Leo. Hold on. He's got Guan Leo. And his off lane, I think... Oh, yeah, it's the Herald. All right. Well, you can see a couple Heralds in action. Herald in action with the Martel Herald. And also my Herald firing off those axes like crazy in the sort of middle of this fray. So let's see how well this goes for me here. This is a team that I cannot beat, for the record. I cannot beat this team, and I think I'm going to lose. A part of the reason that I'm going to lose here is now that I've added extra march speed onto my Herald, I actually have a problem unfolding unrelated to Herald entirely. And the problem I'm having now is that with William, it is just so hard to get the area of effect damage to line up properly. So that's the issue that I just had there. My William wasn't hitting multiple targets, which means I would have been much better off with like an Ethelfled Esong combination than what I was doing there. So that's a big part of the reason why I just got totally rolled. So let's move around some of my march speed gear and see if we can improve this. All right, we made a few changes to the march speed. I don't know if it's really going to make a difference against Chisgule, but rather than battle an opponent where I feel more confident that I can win, I'd rather show you a tough matchup and just kind of see how that goes. I do really think the Ethel Esong is an easier play to make here, and I've found that making the William line up perfectly to get his damage to land has been very tricky. But let's see how this goes now that we've got a little bit more march speed onto our Constantine. Maybe this will be better. Let's see if we can get William. Well, let's see if we can get him to land that skill. When William hits multiple targets, my whole team gets 20% defense, which is a big deal. It does feel like the chances are... Oh, there we go. That looks better. I don't know if it worked, though. Let's see. Is William going to hit multiple targets? No, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. Gosh bless. Somehow I gotta slow down that Richard Herald. Now he's marching too fast for my own good. He's marching too fast for my own good. If I can hit multiple targets, the whole team getting the 20% defense and 150 rage, every active skill cycle is a huge deal. But in situations like this where I can't make it work, no, it's really bad. It's really quite bad for the rest of the team. However, top lane is doing okay. We're going to see his expertise Leonidas go into beast mode in just a moment and kind of wreck me up top, which is going to be an issue for me. This might have been slightly better than the last attempt. Maybe. Maybe. But still really not getting the job done. We're close. I think if I swap in an Ethelfled, it might be better. But no matter how you slice it, I like the Herald AoE. I hope you enjoyed watching us battle some tougher opponents. These are top-tier teams. At least the last couple that you saw here against Chisgule, top-tier team. And if you haven't taken the time to test things in your Canyon lineup for Sunset Canyon, that is my strong recommendation to you that you use this area as your testing ground, and you do that aggressively so that by the time you get over here, you've got something really phenomenal and refined that holds its weight. And you know that in Kingdom 75, we put a lot of effort into that because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of the top 20 spots. And there are 8 kingdoms, actually 12 technically, in this KVK. So yeah, you get the idea. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, my friends. If there's anything you'd like to see with Herald, leave a comment down below with any testing you'd like us to perform. We're happy to go and explore that. Again, I didn't think that going in and testing in a game mode like a practice arc match would really teach us all that much that we couldn't just see in Canyon. Herald is all about getting swarmed, and if you aren't getting swarmed, I'm not sure you should be thinking about using him. And I also honestly think that if you aren't planning to expertise him, those last couple skills and the way they interact is really tricky. I think he really gets much better once you approach and achieve that expertise. Later today, we'll be live streaming the capture of the ruined Crusader fortress, which should be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing Esmeralda. Oh my gosh, I can't believe Esmeralda is back. You're going to want to check that out. And if you're looking for a video about all of the odds for Esmeralda, I did that 3 weeks ago when this first landed in Kingdom 2. I'll have a card up in the top, so you can go check that out and learn the real stats on how much value you get per gem that you spend so that you can make an informed decision. Until next time, my friends, you have fun smashing the kingdom.